Hey, it's Ben Wise from ZOAR Fitness, and welcome back to Ask Ben, where I answer your training-related questions. All right, so today's question: how do you maintain conditioning while getting stronger? This question came from Jen Davis. So her question was: I need to get stronger to compete at the level I want to in the sport of fitness, but I'm a little afraid to fully commit to strength work because I don't want to lose the progress I've made in conditioning. How do you help athletes maintain their conditioning while getting stronger? All right, so I think this is again a fantastic question that applies to a lot of people. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be conditioning based. It could be, I want to maintain my gymnastics skill as I get stronger, potentially put on muscle mass and gain some weight. It could be, I want to maintain certain skills like double unders as I also improve my leg strength. Like this could, again, it's really transferable. So I like this question a lot. The first thing that I would kind of want to nail down is like, what do we consider to be conditioning? Right? So like a workout like Grace, 30 clean jerks for time, males 135, females 95 pounds. Getting stronger will technically improve your conditioning in a workout like that because again, if your max goes up 20%, that relative load at 95 or 135 is going to feel much lighter. You're going to be able to cycle it for more reps without setting it down. You're probably going to improve your Grace time because you got stronger. Technically, your conditioning improved. All right, so if we're talking about conditioning, I think most people aren't necessarily talking about that really short, high effort or just a barbell. It's kind of all-encompassing, like mixed motor work in general. So we'll just say it's a slightly longer workout, a little bit longer time domain where strength plays less of a role. It's more like often incorporates cyclical activities, non-structural, so like, running, air bike, rowing, double unders, burpees, like that sort of thing. And then usually relatively light where it's, less than maybe 40% of your 1 rep max, something like that. Where again, the breathing and the kind of again, just kind of engine, right, is the limiter. That's often what people are talking about when they're talking about conditioning. So that's how I'm going to attack this. All right? And you realize that I think the most important thing here is that realize that you can't get better at everything all the time. So it's just truly about maintenance. Right? It's about maintaining, trying not to lose too much. Where you go back to that, you're going to be able to get it to come back relatively quickly, right? The goal is not to keep every single edge of your conditioning that you've always had. Like it's a natural cycle to be able to lose some of that conditioning while you're getting stronger, and then when you kind of come back, then to bring all those metrics back up before you kind of compete in your comp prep phase. That's going to be the most important thing. So realize that. If you're someone who's like, I still haven't gotten that first muscle up, or I still can't string large chested double unders, or I still can't hit a good 1 rep max, like you're going to have to take some time away from other things without neglecting them completely, just kind of easing off of them, having them be less stressful where you can focus on other things, right? So that goes on for whatever relative weakness you have, and you're going to apply most of this stuff in the off season. You're not going to do this in a comp prep phase, right? Realize that you have to maintain critical mass where you can't just like, oh yeah, I'm doing strength, I'm going to throw my conditioning out the window, right? You have to maintain it to a degree, but the way you do that is through means that aren't stressful. You leave the stress for the metric that you're trying to improve, right? So in this case, say you're trying to improve your weightlifting, and like maybe it's just snatch and clean and jerk. You're really trying to improve, so you're working on your weightlifting a lot. You're just kind of put the conditioning on the back burner, but you're not neglecting it completely, right? Having too much stress or not enough stress, neither one of those is going to lend itself because you're either going to lose too much fitness or it's going to blunt your strength gains, right? Someone continues to focus on fitness while they're getting stronger. Oftentimes, they won't actually be able to get stronger because they're kind of spreading themselves too thin. So, what I would suggest to Jen and other people who are trying to do this, right, is you need to maintain just basic aerobic functioning. That's what we're talking about for conditioning, right? I call it, basic aerobic function, BAF. It's one of the things that I have my athletes do on rebound days because it's not stressful. That's the whole idea of a rebound day or like a recovery deload, right? Is that you're be able to like pop your nervous system back up, to be able to, again, blood flow, lymph flow, to be able to just circulate, be able to get the heart, working, but again, not in a way that is stressful, right? In a way that you can kind of keep your parasympathetic dominance, and that you're not going to be super strung out and tired at the end of that, right? Things that actually constitute basic aerobic function is like you're going to have this like kind of relaxed, conversational pace. You should be able to talk to someone most of the time as you're doing this. It's not going to be a high effort exertion RPE. You're going to be able to actually keep a relaxed gaze. That's one of the things, is like you're not going to get that tunnel vision. You're not super intensely focused. It's kind of relaxed and a little bit more enjoyable in that sense, right? And you're just going to be able to maintain nasal breathing most of the time. You're, like, all these things are just another sign that, okay, I'm in the right place and this isn't a super stressful thing for me, right? So this would be actually a really good sample session of what I would have one of my athletes do, who's just kind of let's just call it a moderately, not elite, not like beginner CrossFit athlete, someone who's competing in sport fitness. This would be a great either rebound session or just kind of a structure of a workout if you're trying to, again, have a less stressful workout as you're working on strength, right? So 25 minutes at a relaxed pace, and that's a big part of it. You're going to, again, row for 1 minute at a 5K time trial pace at 24 strokes per minute. So that's not challenging, right? 100-meter farmer's carry at 50 or 35 per hand. Again, we do a lot more isometric things. Farmer's carry is an isometric. You also see down here is a front lever hold on the low rings. So just holding basically like a push-up on rings or a plank, right? And again, that's not super hard, just kind of breathing through that. And then you'll get on the air bike at your 10-minute test pace minus 30% of those watts. Right? Again, so not super challenging. Bear crawl. So again, a lot of these things we're working on, like muscular endurance, just your contractions, being able to breathe through it. And again, none of the super stressful, and then just a side plank. So we also incorporate some midline work, things like that, right? So again, that's just an example of this, something that I think would be appropriate for someone in this situation. Again, as you do that, you'll be able to walk away from that workout and you'll feel perfectly fine, and you will go on to, again, this is not preventing you from adapting to the stress of strength, right? That's the whole point of this, is that it's not stressful because you can adapt then to the stressor, right? Don't waste your adaptation currency on conditioning. That's not what we're trying to improve. We're just trying to maintain, right? I think it would be perfectly appropriate to do that 3, 4, 5 times a week, ideally separate from your strength session, right? Where it's just kind of like, I can do this in the morning, shower, go to work, whatever, or, after my session later at night. Like, sometimes that's, whenever you do that, kind of flip-flop it where it's the opposite, right? So that is what I would suggest for someone who is trying to get stronger while maintaining conditioning. So there you go, guys. Feel free to email me at ben@zoarfitness.com with more Ask Ben episode questions that you have. As always, I'm happy to interact with you guys and to answer your training-related questions. I'll see you next time.